You ever have those really big goals, the exciting ones, but they just feel, I don't know, miles away?
Oh, absolutely. Like you're staring at a giant mountain.
Yeah, and you get totally bogged down before you even take that first step. It feels like too much.
Such a common feeling. And honestly, that's why looking at someone like Steven Pressfield, his insights, they can be really valuable for, working through that.
Definitely. So today we're doing a deep dive into this really interesting video featuring Pressfield. He wrote The War of Art, Turning Pro.
Landmark books for creatives, yeah.
But what makes his take so powerful, I think, is where he came from. It wasn't some overnight success story.
Not even close.
Yeah.
His background is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's something else. He was an ad copywriter, sure, but also a teacher, truck driver, bartender.
Worked in oil fields, a mental hospital attendant, picked fruit. Quite the list.
And he wrote for, over 2 decades before his first novel hit, The Legend of Bagger Vance. He was 50.
50. That just screams persistence, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
But his idea of persistence, as we'll get into, it's got some interesting layers to it.
Right. So that's our mission for this deep dive. Pull out the key, actionable stuff from Pressfield's wisdom. Things that you, listening right now, can actually use for your goals. Creative stuff, work stuff, whatever it is.
And break it down so it's not overwhelming, make it manageable, practical.
Exactly. We want these big ideas to feel, well, useful immediately.
Okay, so where are we heading today? What's on the map?
We'll definitely unpack what he really means by persistence. It's maybe not just gritting your teeth.
Okay.
Then those other skills, the ones around your main talent that you actually need.
Oh, yeah, the supporting cast of skills.
Crucial. Then his big one, turning pro. What does that actually mean day to day?
A mindset shift, really.
And finally, we have to tackle resistance. Capital R, understanding it, facing it down.
The big bad. Okay, sounds good. Where do we start? Persistence.
Let's dive into persistence. What was the big takeaway for you from the video on that?
Well, the first thing that really jumped out was his idea that real persistence, it's not just willpower. It's not forcing it. For him, it seemed rooted much deeper, like an actual need to do the work. He said something like he couldn't do anything else and be happy.
Wow. So all those other jobs.
They were survival.
Yeah.
Right? But the writing, the creating, that was the thing pulling him back. Always. It wasn't about fame or money. It was internal, a necessity.
That's such a key difference. We talk about persistence like it's pure grit, just pushing through.
Yeah, like a constant fight.
But he frames it more like finding the thing that's so fundamentally you can't not do it. It's less forcing yourself, more aligning yourself.
Exactly. It's almost expressing who you are rather than battling yourself.
And that makes so much sense when you think about people worrying they started too late.
Oh, yeah, the late start anxiety.
Pressfield publishing at 50 just blows that narrative up, doesn't it?
Completely. And think about E.L. James. Started writing 50 Shades in her 50s, right? Massive success.
Right. So the timeline. It's just different for everyone. Focus on that internal thing, that calling, not the clock or what others are doing.
Your own path. Now, about this resistance,
Yeah.
that's a huge theme for him.
Huge. He calls it this diabolical, ever-changing, protein-intelligent force. Protein meaning.
Shape shifts, takes on different forms.
Exactly. So it's super sneaky. It's way more than just, feeling a bit lazy.
Definitely more than lazy. And what's wild is he says it never fully goes away. Even when you're successful, it just gets maybe subtler.
Always lurking. He shared that story, didn't he? About finishing his first book.
Oh, yeah. That was intense. How resistance basically made him kind of sabotage his own life.
His marriage, stability, everything, just as he was about to put the work out there.
It sounds extreme, but it shows how powerful that fear of vulnerability of finishing can be. Resistance will pull out all the stops.
And it's not just for writers or artists, is it?
Not at all. The video touched on this too.
Yeah.
It pops up whenever you aim higher. Personal growth, sticking to your values, even just having difficult conversation.
Like in a relationship.
Yeah, that fear of exposure, of putting yourself out there in any way, that's where resistance digs in.
It's like this automatic defense that just slams down when you're about to do something important.
And it's so clever. Procrastination, self-doubt, suddenly needing to clean the entire house.
Huh. Yes. Or like that example in the video, the guy avoiding a tough chat with his wife by finding endless tiny tasks.
So relatable. We've all suddenly needed to organize our soft drawer when facing a big task. Right?
Totally. Getting lost in emails instead of writing the report.
But here's the crucial insight Pressfield offers. Resistance often gets stronger right when you're about to break through.
Really? So it's like a signal.
Almost. It senses you're making real progress and throws up bigger roadblocks, like a final boss battle.
Okay, so knowing that, what can you actually do about it? What are the practical steps?
Well, one big strategy is breaking things down, way down.
Smaller steps.
Yeah, instead of write the book, it's write one good paragraph, or even just sit down for 30 minutes. It makes it less overwhelming.
Takes the pressure off, which ties
Mhm.
into patience, right? Especially for long projects.
Absolutely. Trying to rush it can make resistance worse.
Yeah.
You got to settle in for the marathon, not the sprint. Except that it might be slow, but you keep moving.
Okay, and that feels like a good bridge to his idea of turning pro. This isn't just about getting paid, is it?
No, not primarily. It's a fundamental shift in how you approach your work, your calling.
How so?
Turning pro means deciding to treat your passion like a profession, with that level of seriousness and commitment, even if you're not earning a dime yet.
So professionals show up on schedule, even when they're not feeling inspired.
Exactly. They work through the tough spots. They don't just quit when it gets hard, which is often what the amateur does.
Like athletes playing through pain. It's their job, their commitment.
That's the analogy he uses. You push past the discomfort because you've made that professional commitment.
And the empowering part is you can just decide to do that right now.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
an internal decision first. You don't need anyone's permission or a contract. You just shift your mindset.
And maybe make it real with actions, like setting work hours, having a dedicated space.
Oh, yes. Formalizing it helps. Setting up a separate bank account for your writing expenses, maybe. It signals to yourself, I'm serious about this.
He told that story about his friend who took up golf, didn't he?
Yeah, the golfer. Got lessons, set a practice schedule immediately. Total pro mindset from day one, even as a beginner.
It's about embodying the identity. Okay, so you've got the pro mindset, but Pressfield also says success isn't just about your main talent. What about those other skills?
Right, the surrounding skills. He makes a great point that pure talent often isn't enough.
What else do you need?
Things like emotional resilience.
Mm-hmm.
You will face setbacks. Perseverance, obviously. Self-management, staying organized, focused.
Handling criticism.
Definitely. Learning from it without getting derailed. And even things like knowing how to present your work, how to talk about it. These often make the difference long-term.
So true. You can be brilliant, but if you crumble under pressure or can't manage your time.
Your potential might just stay potential. Pressfield really stresses that consistent work often beats raw talent. You can build skill through sheer effort.
And he had that interesting twist on resistance, didn't he? That it can actually be a good sign.
Yeah, that was fascinating. The idea that if you're feeling major resistance about something, a project, a goal, it might actually mean you're on to something important.
Something meaningful to you.
Exactly. You're pushing boundaries, moving into territory that matters. So the resistance flares up because it matters.
So that anxiety, that self-doubt when you're about to hit publish or make that call.
It might just be confirming you're aiming high. Big dreams attract big resistance. So maybe don't let it discourage you. See it as validation.
That reframes it completely. Okay, and then he also touched on the muse, inspiration.
Yeah.
That ideas don't always just come from us.
Right. He references the Greek muses. Suggests our job as creators is sometimes just to be open, to receive ideas, serve the impulse.
Even if the idea seems weird at first.
Especially then. Trust those little nudges, those whispers. They might be guiding you somewhere unexpected, but important.
And inspiration can come from anywhere, right? Movies, books.
Conversations, yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about stealing ideas, too. Not plagiarism, but
Taking a concept and putting your own spin on it. Making it yours.
like how he used the Bhagavad Gita as inspiration for Bagger Vance.
It's about being observant, collecting bits and pieces, and then filtering them through your own unique lens to create something new.
And again, maybe don't dismiss the odd ideas too quickly. Jot them down. They might grow into something significant later.
Okay, wow. Lots to unpack there. So let's try and pull the key threads together for everyone listening.
Good idea. The actionable takeaways.
Okay, first, real persistence. It often comes from that deep inner need, that feeling you have to do this thing to be happy. It's different from just forcing it.
Second, don't sweat your timeline. Success can come at any age. Your path is your own.
Third, resistance. It's real, it's sneaky, and it gets stronger when you're close to a breakthrough. Learn its disguises in your life.
Fourth, fight resistance with small, consistent steps. Be patient. Don't panic in the tough phases. Chip away at it.
Fifth, turning pro. It's a mindset. Show up, do the work, play through the discomfort, commit fully, make it real with actions.
Sixth, success needs more than just talent, Build resilience, perseverance, self-management. Those surrounding skills matter.
7th, feeling strong resistance. It might actually mean you're working on something truly important to you. Use it as a compass.
8th, inspiration is everywhere. Be open, collect ideas, and don't be afraid to steal and transform them.
9th, that idea of the muse, maybe think about being open to ideas that seem to come from outside yourself. Serve those impulses.
And 10th, really summing it up, big goals often mean big resistance. See that resistance as proof of your goal's significance.
So a final thought to leave you with.
Take a moment and think. What does your resistance look like right now? What important step, big or small, are you maybe avoiding?
And how could applying that turning pro mindset, that commitment, help you push through and take that step? What's that friction telling you?
Food for thought.
See you soon.